Thank you. Phones put away, please. Phones put away. Y'all know the drill. All right, so we're going to look at elimination. Let's talk about the steps real quick. Step number 1 is line up the equations. More specifically, make sure like if you look at number 2 here, that the x's are lined up, the y's are lined up, the equal signs are lined up, and then the constants are lined up. Then we multiply one or both equations. Maybe you don't need to multiply either one, depending on what you're doing. And then it says to add or subtract. Really, we should actually just say that we're going to combine, because we want to do it where we're really just adding and the signs take care of themselves. And one of the variables should cancel out. We solve for the remaining variable, then substitute. Okay? So here we go. And you could take these and you could still do substitution, but sometimes things are set up for elimination and it's just better. Okay. Let's look at number 1. On number 1, which equation would you multiply, the first or the second? What do you think? The second? Okay, and what would you multiply the second one by? 7, okay. What? Wait, what? Okay. Okay, so I'm good with that. Y'all good with multiplying the second one by 7? All right, so we're going to multiply this one by 7. That means every single thing. So this gives me 7x minus 7y equals a negative 49. Hey, how could y'all possibly have that much to talk about? Aren't you together all day long? Shut up. And you've survived this long? Whew, I'm so proud of you for your survival skills. Okay, then I'm just going to rewrite the first one. X plus 7y equals 17. Then we're just combining. Since the signs are opposite, these will cancel out. This gives me 8x equals, I have two numbers with different signs. I subtract and take the sign of the larger one, which will give me a negative 32. So x equals what? Negative 4. Yes. Then I take this negative 4 and I substitute it back into one of the two original ones. Which one you want to substitute it into? The second one? Okay, that's fine. So I get negative 4 minus y equals negative 7. I add 4 to both sides. I get negative y equals negative 3. Y equals 3. Then we make sure that our answers are in ordered pairs. And that's our answer. Could we have chosen to multiply by something other than 7? What's another option? Negative 1. That works too. I heard 7 first, which is absolutely fine. Negative 1 would have been absolutely fine. It's whatever makes the most sense to you and what you see there. Okay. Let's look at number 2. We're not going to necessarily work it, but which equation would you multiply? None. You don't have to multiply either one of them, do you? No. So here, it's just done for you. Don't make your life harder than it needs to be, and you could just go from there. Okay? We won't work through the rest of it, but let's jump to number 3. Which equation would you multiply here? The second one? And what would you multiply by? Negative 4? Good. We could change the y, but that would be more complicated, right? I would multiply this one by negative 4. I think that would be my choice as well. So that's going to give me negative 4x. Be careful with your negatives. Minus 20y equals negative 16. Then 4x minus 9y equals negative 42. I just rewrote that first one. Then we combine them. In a lot of ways, this is easier than substitution, but sometimes it's just not set up well for elimination. So I'm going to cancel those out, or they zero out rather. This gives me negative 29y equals a negative 58. So what does y equal? 2. Everybody with me? Holler if you're not. All right. Then I'm going to substitute this back into which one? The second one. I would choose the second one also. So x plus 5 times 2 equals 4. Oh, thank you, honey. Get that turned in for you. And then x plus 10 equals 4. X equals negative 6. We found y first, but be careful when you put it in the ordered pair. Make sure you put it x, y so that we don't get them backwards like a couple of us did on that SAT question from yesterday. So I know you know better, but it's easy to mess things like that up. Any questions at this point? All right. Number 4. Which one would you multiply? The bottom one? Okay. By a negative 2. That works. If I multiply the bottom one by negative 2, so that gives me negative 4x plus 6y equals 26. Now, we have multiplied the second one every time. Does it always have to be the second one? No, just to make sure that you know that much. Okay. Then this gives me 7x minus 6y equals negative 53. Those zero out. 3x equals 2 numbers with different signs. I subtract and take the sign of the larger one. That'll give me a negative what? 27. So then x equals negative 9. Okay. Everybody with me? Then we substitute, excuse me, substitute it back into whichever one you want to. It does not matter. Again, I think probably the second one would be the easiest. That's a matter of opinion. 2 times negative 9 minus 3y equals negative 13. That's negative 18 minus 3y equals negative 13. So negative 3y is going to equal what? 5. At this point, do you wonder if maybe you did something wrong? Sometimes I do when the numbers don't come out pretty, but we didn't do anything wrong. Negative 5/3. So it's negative 9, negative 5/3. Any questions at all? All right. We're going to start the last two, but we're not going to, I don't think we need to work through them. I think you get the hang of it, right? We're all good on that. All right. Let's just talk about what we would multiply by. On number 5, would you multiply the top or the bottom? Both, right? Sometimes you have to do both. So do you want to multiply, do you want to change cancel out the x's first or the y's? X? Okay. Doesn't matter. Last period, somebody said the y's because then it'll also cancel out the constants. And I was like, all right. But it didn't. But he thought, and that's okay, because if you see something that you think might make your life easier, like, so we did it, and it's really not harder either way, right? But he was thinking ahead, like, oh, that might help me that way. Really doesn't matter. What are we going to, if we're going to do the x's, because that's what I heard first, what do we want to multiply the top by? Okay, 2 or negative 2. I think I heard 2 first. It doesn't really matter. So we'll do 2. If I do 2 there, I have to multiply the bottom by what? Negative 5. If I did negative 2, then I do positive 5. And it's fine either way, right? And then I think you can do the rest. We'll just. All right, so then on 6, like on 5, whether we did x or y, I don't think one is necessarily easier than the other. 6, do you feel like one would definitely be easier than the other? Maybe changing the x's instead of the y's, right? Because you don't have to use the 12. So here, let's do the first one be a negative. We can do like a -4, in here a +3, or you could change the negatives, either one. Okay. Everybody good on those? Okay. And you don't have to necessarily finish those. On your assignment, I'm going to give you some that I want to see work on, and then some you can just put in Desmos. Do we need to practice any together on Desmos again, or do we get that? You're good. You can type them in. Okay. So I will hand out your assignment, but I'm going to go ahead and show you, and then I'll give it to you. So 1 through 5, I want work. 6, 7, and 8, you can just type in Desmos. If you want Desmos to help you check 1 through 5, that's fine too. Okay? We good on what to do? Awesome.